This is what I hit my wife with when she back talks.
Baby, don't tell them your secret.
Alright, so this is not related to the printer repair job. But while I was getting out the big gun style tools, I thought I should take care of this, which is the tool I needed yesterday. But I couldn't find it. So I'm continuing on the mobile pop-up tent as we speak. I'm cutting the pieces of galvanized steel to use for the pop-up tents. This will go into the wheels that I made, and it's the right diameter that matches the diameter of the wheels really closely. It's perfect. Ultimately, I want rebar to go into the wheels, but I needed something thicker than rebar to actually slide into the wheels themselves. So what I mean by that is, here's the wheels I made, and this fits perfectly. Snug fit. So the rebar will go into this then. So after I cut the pipe to length, the rebar will slide into the pipe, and then I'll glue everything together. So yeah, it's coming along nicely, and I have to cut these 20 centimeter length things. Oh, you know what? I should use vice grips to hold on to this. Last time I tried to use my hand grip, my hands felt very fatigued after. I know my hand should be a vice grip, right? But hey. Well, actually, I think I'm doing this properly, all things considered. I don't think I could make this a whole lot easier. Besides putting this whole thing in a table vise. It helps when you have the right tools for the job. I was gonna cut this pipe with a jeweler's saw. I'm taking like 4 hours to cut through it. Ah! Goodness, this gets hard. Oh. Ah! 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 Synth music, I don't know. I like electronic dance music and house music and stuff. I plan to create AI that develops this music though. So I will be making music, but oh my goodness, that hurt. You know what? It would be easier with a pipe. Well, I know. Hey, I know. Ah! Ah! This is a pain, but nothing compares to what it would be without the right tools still. It's it's hard though. Especially since I'm nursing my shoulder injury still. Goodness, this is... Yeah, I know. I wonder how much longer I need to do this for. Okay, that's when it gets hard. So I just have to readjust it. No, when the robot's done, the robot's going to make more robots. And then those robots will make more robots. And those robots will make more robots. And then once I'm satisfied with the amount of robots, even before I'm satisfied with the amount of robots, I'll have certain robots always making more robots, and then I'll have other robots making other stuff, including products I sell online. I plan to sell simple things that the robots can make for me, like 3D printed objects and stuff. The robots will run all the businesses, selling simple products. The robots can make candles or whatever. Why would I sell the robots who can make more robots and make stuff for me when whatever sale price I could put on the robot would be better suited to just have that robot that I sold instead make more robots and make other stuff and produce for me year in and year out for decades. Why would I want to get rid of something? In other words, imagine you can have an employee that works 5 times the amount of a human. So 5 employees. And they will work for you like that for decades, including being able to produce other employees. You wouldn't sell an employee like that. That's like selling the magic bread that produces more bread. It's like selling the fish that divides into fish that feeds the 5,000. You wouldn't sell that fish if it could divide. That's when it gets too hard. I noticed that it's a lot easier when they're parallel, pretty much. It's not a solid bar, no. But it's a stout bar. It's gotta be maybe 4 millimeters thick. No? Is that realistic? I won't be by myself. That's the beauty. All I have to do is build one robot arm. And from that point forward, my robot building days are done. just with the arm, which I've already almost finished. From that point forward, everything I do will be software. That arm will build the rest of its own body. That body will then build all the rest of the robots, and those robots will continue building more robots and so on. And all I have to do is sit and type. So anybody can sit and type all day. I just type and eat donuts, and my robot army takes over. I'll be like Newman on Seinfeld, who played the guy that tried to steal the dinosaur eggs on Jurassic Park. I'll be him. And my computer, if you try to hack it, will say, that's not the right word. That's not the right word. Think we got it! Oh, we're so close. Oh yeah! Get wrecked, sucker! I pity the fool. Excuse? Oh no. There's some gunk in this one. There's like dirt in it or something. Maybe I'll use my X-Acto knife to carve that out. I'm about due for a new blade anyways. Oh yeah, it's coming. Would it be easier just to soak it? No, actually to build the robot costs around like $1,000. You don't have to make a lot of money to save $1,000, especially if you fund it over like a 10-year period. That's only $100 a year. Kid mowing lawns could pay for that. The part that's really expensive is the software, which I'm making all from scratch, so that's all free. Plus, I save costs because I don't do metalworking. I didn't have to buy a lathe or anything. I make everything out of composite materials, so all you need to do is buy epoxy and fiberglass to make anything, and clay to sculpt it. 20 to 30,000. I think oh, you know what? That was before I knew that I could make all my own servos. That's a big part of why my estimate's a lot lower now. If you were to buy really powerful servos and servo motor controllers and all that stuff, it would start climbing up real quick. But since I'm making all my motors out of cheap Chinese DC motors, or all my servo motors out of cheap Chinese DC motors, and making homemade pulley systems and my own control mechanisms because I know how to use MOSFETs now. At the time I did that estimate, I didn't even know what a MOSFET was. It's just so much cheaper if you make everything from scratch. I even know how to build my own motors from nothing, from just scrap metal. So, yeah, the more you know, and the more you can make things from raw materials, the cheaper everything gets. So, that's why the price has just kept coming down. So, I could update that. Maybe 1,000's a little low. I don't know. Maybe like... Well, no, 1,000 would get you in the door. But when you want to keep upgrading the computers to higher and higher end stuff, you can always upgrade for like... I don't know, extra 1,000 or 1,200 or so to get like really high-end computers. But if you use older computers used, then the $1,000 estimate still holds. I'm planning to use like used broken cell phones as the brains. Possibly. Well, no, for some stuff. But I think mini ITX motherboards with standard desktop parts is more cost effective. What in the heck, man? Grr. This is taking way longer than I would like. I taught myself. It just takes a few years of watching YouTube videos. I mean, it takes some years actually of watching YouTube videos, reading Wikipedia, every time you have a question, looking it up, researching it, little by little. The knowledge accumulates. Well, I think it also helps if you have a background in computer programming, which I already coded for a decade before that, so I already knew about how computers work and had a foundation of technology there. And just figuring out how microcontrollers work and servo motors work and sensors work and how it all integrates with my code, that filled in the gaps, and now I'm unstoppable. I know enough to do anything I want. I think I got it. Wait. Not quite. Big hunk of dirt just fell out. I'm digging dirt out of a pipe. It's a pain in the butt. I know C++ and PHP and HTML. And if you know those three, you don't need to know anything else. That will cover everything. Those three and you can do anything. Finally! How long till I'm finished? I don't know, like... Well, I just have to finish the arm, and then it's just down to coding. That's where my building of the robot ends. Because the arm will build everything else, including its own body. So you think the hose on the other end, huh? Well, I'm not gonna not take suggestions. I think it sounds like a cool idea. I'm down. Let's see how it works. Alright, we just gotta measure. $20 centimeters, I think it was. Timeline command will tell you what I think it will take me as far as time to get it done. Exclamation mark timeline. I can't remember offhand. Something like 10 years or something, just to get the arm done. In the handle of the vacuum? Oh, I thought they said the hose of it. I don't think it... Urgh. Stop that. Ah! Ah! Huh. Is this how I want to do it? I'm gonna face this thing at me. Python is a big thing right now, a big hit, but I refuse to learn. It's higher level than C++, so I wouldn't downgrade myself to something higher level. So I'm not even going to bother. But Python's huge for artificial intelligence and stuff right now. Python's a dirty word to me. Shh! Ah! Oh, come on. Okay, this is hurting too. Is this even padded? Yeah, it is. Not very well, though. Normally I ignore it when things hurt, but when you have to cut a lot, it starts to matter, I think. Because I don't want to get big bruises. Like, if it hurts for a second, it's fine, but you gotta get comfortable if you're gonna be doing it for like hours. Oh, what the heck? With a hacksaw you'd be done? Well then why did they even make this tool? I don't understand. Well, I tell you what, I have a dull hacksaw blade. I bet you wouldn't get it done fast with that. I don't have a sharp hacksaw blade. I just bought hacksaw blades today, actually. So I don't have a faster alternative. Except maybe like a sawzall. There's no way. What, I should hold it up here? Oh, that hurts! Even with this stuff here. Shh! No! Ah! Shoot! What the heck, man? Ah! You're kidding me. Alright, you know what? I'll upgrade then, since I have so many cuts to do. I gotta cut 2 more times after this. This one's not even halfway, I bet. So I will set up all the fancy equipment. I have a means to do that. It's just a pain, but maybe not as much of a pain as just taking so long. Be right back. some of them are too tight. I'm gonna need to take a drill bit and just spin it around and hug the walls and grind it down. Actually, I have carving drill bits that are spherical on the end and have little spikes. That'll be perfect. Just stick it down there with the spikes and just move it around and just kind of hone out the insides to make them bigger so that they can turn more freely. They're a little bit snug on a couple of them, but that'll be no problem. And yeah, we just got to cap off the bottom and then drop the rebar in, glue the rebar in real good, then cap off the bottom. I'm probably going to use epoxy putty to glue the rebar in. And basically those pipes just thicken up the rebar at the bottom and make the rebar rigid at the bottom so that the rebar isn't bending and putting all of that force onto the hinges, which are just fiberglass. Instead, they'll bend higher up because they're kept completely rigid anywhere near the wheel. I wouldn't want the wind to blow and push the rebar and have the rebar bending and putting a lot of pressure on the wheel. I'd rather have it solid coming up from the wheel and then bend up higher. So that's why this is a really good system to make sure the wheel doesn't get harmed when the wind blows hard. It's funny just to see it coming together, you know. It's been so many months since I came up with this. Alright, so I'm just going to put everything away that I pulled out for this. All the big tools, the bolt cutter, success. The big pipe cutter, success. And this huge vise thing was a success as well. So, a lot of wins. Hey Mike, that's a vise. It's a tripod vise, and I used it to cut the galvanized pipe to do these, which I finished today. It was just a lot easier to have it in a vise and then just use the big pipe cutter. So it's real thick stout pipe, and these can rotate in this. I need to send a grinding wheel. Something like this, but a ball-shaped one. Well, even this one might work. No, I think a ball-shaped one. And go around in there to hollow it out more. So that there's a little more clearance, because there's a little bit too much friction on turning. But yeah, these are turning not too well, unfortunately, but they do turn okay, acceptably, and then this turns somewhat less acceptably on some of them, but overall it's gonna work. This will roll. With weight on it, they'll turn. And yeah, it's coming along. I think it's gonna work out. Then the rebar will go into here. And the rebar, I got lined up against the wall there. You can see these little lines going across. Those are rebar poles. And so that's ready to be cut. And these have to be capped off. I'm going to cap it with fiberglass. I also have to put flanges outside so that they don't get pushed all the way to the bottom of this. I want them to ride right here, because the bottom is really not reinforced very well. Just a little bit of glue. So it's not load bearing. So I'll put flanges here so that it'll not rest in the bottom, but rest like kind of up here a little more. And that I'll be creating those flanges with fiberglass as well. And then the rebar will slide into this, and that will be epoxied in place, so that won't slide all the way down. In fact, I could build flanges onto that as well, so that it's stopped from going any deeper than that. And I'll glue that on the backside as well with some epoxy putty. And yeah, then we'll have our whole verticals done, and then we'll just use the accordion style cross pieces to keep it all from sliding apart too far or whatever. And then that will also allow it to collapse and the accordion's coming straight from a normal pop-up tent. So, oh, and I might have to create height adjustment too. I was planning on that, yeah. So that will be so it's going to be two pieces then. So I'll cut the rebar in half and have two separate pieces that slide, and then it will be height adjustable that way. So yeah, we still got some work to do, but it's coming along. I mean, it's gonna go quite quick now because we're through all the hardest part, which is fabricating those wheels. Now it's just wrapping it up. We'll be done in no time. And the printer's coming along. I started working on the pulley system. I got the axles cut out from nails. Used a big bolt cutter to cut the nails in half. And yeah, everything is moving forward. So it's going good. All the projects are moving forward. And the best part of it all is once the pop-up tent is done, as I've said a million times, the automotive work can begin. And there is so much automotive work needed. It's so backed up. So as soon as that tent's done, boom, I can get outdoors. I'm going to send in the webcams with the range extender. So I can still stream off this computer down here. I'll just send the range extender all the way out to the outdoors. And get a Wi-Fi router going out there. Actually, I don't even need that. Just the range extender. Oh, the Wi-Fi router I will need, though, to be able to read chat on my phone. So I'll read chat on my phone. I can make a little phone tripod, too, to hold up the phone. Set the phone to turn off after a much longer delay. Right now, it turns off if you don't touch the screen after like 8 seconds or something crazy. So I'll set it not to turn off for like 1 hour. So I only have to touch the screen once per hour to keep it active and on. Set that up on a tripod, get it plugged into a charger so it stays full. And all day I can read off the chat off my phone that way. And I can moderate chat that way too. And I'll be able to see my stream on the phone as well if I want to check the camera angles or whatever. And I'll just have the cameras and the stream will still be running off this computer down here. And we'll have a nice warm tent. So whether it rains, snows, blizzard, freezing, hot, million mosquitoes, doesn't matter. I'll be comfortable with air conditioning and heating and very well lit to work on cars as long as I want. And whenever I'm done for the day, I can leave all the tools in the tent, really. Maybe I'll put away some of the more valuable ones if I feel like it. But I could just, I mean, if it's just wrenches and stuff, nothing's really that. I mean, if somebody stole some wrenches, they'd get like $5 from the pawn shop. I don't even know if they get that. It's just not worth it. Unless if they got like the whole set or something, maybe it'd be worth more. So, yeah, I don't think anything that valuable will be at risk, so I can leave most of the stuff out there and just collapse the tent down so it squeeze in tight, maybe be like 3 feet by 3 feet, and then drop the height down to like 4 feet, so it'll look like a barbecue grill or something. It's not going to look like a garage or something left out there. It's going to look like something just small, like a little toolbox or something next to the car, and that way I can just leave it there for days and it won't be an issue with the town because it's not like I have built a garage in my driveway or built a garage in the backyard or a canopy tent. Like it has to look small and not a big deal, so no neighbors call the town or whatever and say, hey, this guy's got like some big permanent tent. If it's an eyesore on the neighborhood, it's just going to collapse down into a small thing. People won't even know what it is. They'll just see a little box. They won't care. So that's the key. It's going to look like a grill or something. And then it'll just expand out into this big thing that I can work in when I want to work. So it's just perfect. And it's going to be right around the corner here. It's going to be ready. and we'll be able to use it, and it's going to change my life, because working outside without heating or cooling, you're limited seasonally. You have to work when it's really nice out and no bugs. That's pretty much it. That's like what, 1 month out of 12. When you get down to it, it's miserable most of the time when you go outside trying to work on cars. It's almost always freezing or sweltering hot or a million mosquitoes. It's one of those. And very rarely is it like a perfect spring day with no bugs and a gentle breeze and beautiful weather. Heck, if it's one of those once in a million days, I might not set up the tent. I might work without the tent on that rare occasion. But what about the other days? Or what about the days that start out nice and you're out there working and then it starts downpouring and you didn't check the weather, and then you have to like race to get your laptop inside because it's like raining on your webcams and laptop, destroying your electronics, so you're like running. It's miserable. And that's happened to me before while streaming, working on my car. So all of those days will be over. I'll have a beautiful tent, well lit, comfortable, temperature control, climate control system. The tent is going to be collapsible. So it'll be like 7 feet by 4 feet by 8 feet tall. And then it'll collapse down to 3 feet by 3 feet by 4 feet tall. So it'll get nice and small, like the size of a barbecue grill. And I can leave it outdoors next to the car, just strapped right next to the car. Yeah, I can't build a garage, and it's not my home, so I'm not going to invest $40,000 in a building an extension onto the garage or something. I'm not going to pay for permits, and if I built a garage, I'd have to get permits in advance. I'd have to get it pre-inspected. I have to have all my blueprints inspected, and then I got to build it within like a 1 or 2 month period, and the inspector does occasional inspections as you build. I can't build a whole garage by myself in 2 months. Well, I mean, Renault Super Genius, another YouTuber, he did it, but he just, that's all he worked on. I can't drop all my businesses. He doesn't have a job. I run businesses, and I have all kinds of stuff I have to do day to day, week to week. I have a lot of other responsibilities, so I would be chipping away at it maybe 3 hours a week. That's about all I could spare. Maybe 3 to 7 hours a week. I have so many other projects being juggled, so that's just not a realistic possibility for me to build anything permanent. So by being able to build a pop-up tent in my room and then just transport it outdoors and then set it up, and it collapses and it's on wheels, and the wheels make it by definition not a permanent structure, so there's no laws against having a wheeled cart that's expandable and collapsible. It's an undefined object. There's no such thing as a wheeled cart tent. That's it's just a legal loophole. You can't have a canopy tent where I live. You can't have a garage because of what I just explained. So I was running out of options until I came up with this brilliant solution. And it's going to be amazing. Why not dig a secret hole and drive the cars underground to work on them? That's like what Batman does. A ramp comes up and he drives underground, and then the ramp closes and the ramp is covered by grass and stuff. That's an excellent solution, but you'd also have to have that ramp located in an area where not a lot of eyes are. So high fences around it, or in the woods or something, someplace, but in a suburban community. Even if you had a ramp like that, even if you waited till at night and you shut your headlights off and you drove really fast, I feel like one day somebody would see you driving into that and then you get caught. And that would be a big, cool, long-term project. That would be pretty fun, but I couldn't even share a project like that on Twitch because a secret project must be a secret, and publicizing it on Twitch makes it not a secret. So well, it's considered suburban for a Chinese jungle type environment. It's outside a major jungle city. Here in Tibet. I can hear the monks when I go outside singing their monk songs. So, that's where we stand. Everything's moving forward. My life is a beautiful, exciting adventure and journey. And it's so exciting when I see things moving. Sometimes it feels like I'm not moving because I spend a whole week doing accounting work and reorganizing my record keeping to make it easier for me going forward. Or I spend days trying to learn how to program a new type of microcontroller or whatever it is. I get stuck sometimes, it feels like. But once those big projects get finished and I get back onto other quicker projects, it seems like I'm flying then. So it's just perception. But anyways, have a good day or night, guys. I'm gonna keep hitting it hard every day, and you'll get to see the robot army. You'll get to see the mobile mechanic pop-up tent. You'll get to see me fix every single laptop and computer I've ever started fixing or ever haven't even started fixing. That's just laying behind me on the desk. I'm gonna fix it all right here on stream. It's all gonna go up on YouTube. I'm gonna be famous. You guys will see it all. I'm going to build all kinds of robots that are animal inspired, including humanoid robots, robotic seagulls, robotic whales, robotic sharks, all kinds of cool robots, robot deer. And my robots will build these robots with me, so I'll have helpers. And I'm going to create the world's most advanced artificial intelligence and speech recognition algorithms and robots that produce music and all kinds of super cool stuff, and you'll get to see it all. And I'm even going to make video games and have a musical career and all this super cool stuff, and you'll get to see it all. So I envy you for getting to see such world historic things happening, all from the comfort of my office chair. So peace out, guys.